Good evening, beautiful ladies, wonderful gentlemen. As the title says, Elon Musk will sell his Tesla stock if the UN can prove that $6 billion will be able to feed, or should I say, will be able to be a saving for the nation as a whole to feed the people. Because I know that it's going to take a little bit more than that, but yet and still, I know $6 billion could feed the nation of people who's hungry. What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Icy Don, aka Don M. Like I say over here, I like to talk about various things because various things need to be spoken about. And I was cleaning. Let me show you. I was cleaning and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I was cleaning up the place and I came across a paper. I got lots of papers. Because like I said, I do a lot of thinking, then I do writing, and then I take my little laptop and I type it and print it. And these are a lot of thoughts that, I'll be having. I haven't been doing it lately. You got to continue to write, folks. You got to write. You got to write. You got to write. You got to write. You got to write, or type and write and type. You got to continue to put your thoughts out so that at least you can go back to your thoughts, because your thoughts will manifest itself into the world. And so years ago, I put some thoughts on paper. It was called the Living Care Plan. And it was in regards to $6.5 billion, from welfare reform and wasted spendings. And this plan will be able to take that $6.5 billion that at the time President Trump wanted to cut from the SNAP programs and just you, all you folks who receive your EBT. Trump wanted to cut $6.6 billion from that. And that was a problem. I sat back and said, okay, the president wanted to cut $6 billion from this program. And I said like this, interesting. Now, instead of me, want to battle it, I said, how can I take what he is looking to make as, a cut to something, as not a cut, but a shift to something else. So I came up with this Living Care Plan, which was the shift of the money. Instead of, it's there. So instead of cutting it, period, the whole project, shift it to something different. Keep it there, but just shift it and make it something different in that same bracket. Because I know, because I never had a card. And I know that many folks abuse these privileges of eating. Many people are wasteful. They get these cards, they go shopping, they get a whole bunch of food, then they throw it away. I've been in many ladies' houses and seen this shit all the times. And so when your president addresses it, and then we get mad, it's because we don't really look at the person in the mirror. You don't look at your households. You don't look at, especially your family households who's on it, and look at the wasteful spending, the wasteful eating, and how they throw away. Garbage should not be filled with food. That's one thing that garbage people should not be picking up is food. Like if you make food at your house, you have the ability to manage how much food you make, how much food goes on the plate. The food should never, ever, ever go in the garbage. I never understood how people make food and it goes in the garbage. So when your president says he's going to cut $6 billion from folks who's receiving aid for food, it's because too many folks is wasting it and hustling it and playing with it. That's just the reality. Tough love, folks. Sorry. Many people has been playing the games with this EBT and free food for a long time, buying cigarettes and drugs, cashing it in and flipping it. Y'all always forget that that president was from New York City, and he was very in tune to a lot of the street shit. but but beta people, you know, you have women who has estrogen. So I'm gonna say a different word. So estrogen people, women have estrogen. They naturally produce estrogen. Men produce testosterone. So all you estrogen people, you would be mad at a situation like that because you are one of those folks. But those folks who really truly understands that the game has really been played for a long time, and it's been played really seriously for a long time. You know what I'm saying? As long as they've been given that free food money, a game has been played. So we ain't talk about a 5 year playing game. We ain't talk about 10 year. We talk about like over 20, 30, 40. I remember when it used to be the paper money when I was a child. So we talk about 30 years of me truly, truly knowing. And so I don't know when it came about. I should have researched that, but when it came about, it's been a game for at least like 50 years, 40, 50 years strong. Maybe longer than that, most likely. And so, folks, you know, the gig is up. You know how that goes. The gig is up. And so we are in a crisis right now because with this whole COVID situation, a lot of things was intended to properly. And a lot of stuff got wasted. People was home. People was overdoing everything. Just think about every time you look at like a singer or rapper or somebody in the spotlight, and they would say, "Oh, COVID," and then you look at your friends and families and just people, and they say everybody blame COVID, you know, because they was in the home and all they did was eat free food and Uber and shit. You understand what I'm saying? So abusing a system and abusing what it does really causes certain reactions. And so right now the world has a hunger problem because, like I said, a lot of things was intended to, which is by design, as the higher people in the higher positions are playing the game. So right now, what we're witnessing is a transition of power. All they said $6 billion from the richest, you know, the richest people in the world, or should I say, I guess in America. I don't know if they claim the world or America, but pretty much can feed these folks. So they're about to give these people a certain privilege and power over a nation outside of, because they're outside of the government. Now, Tesla said that Elon Musk said that he would give up his stocks if the UN could prove it. Now, it's so sad because, like I said, I came up with a plan. I came up with a plan years ago. It's called the Living Planet, Living Planet. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I came up with that, like I said, like when Donald Trump was in presidency and he was going to cut the billions. And so for him to say the UN, I'm like, shit, you don't need the UN. You have, because the UN is just nothing but a international organization. It's an organization of people. So you don't need the UN to tell you what the people need. And that's why when I still come out here, I say, Black Man Rise, Original Rebel. It's for us to take our elite minds. Even if you are still in a primitive mindset, you still have an elite button in you that you got to press and leave that primitive mindset and rise up. Because it's time, it's our time. They are talking about helping those people from the bottom up. And so now it's time to get organized to build structure. $6 billion to feed you, figure out how it's going to feed you. Don't let them figure it out. So that's what this topic is about today. Are we going to allow the elites to feed us and figure out how we're going to be fed and what we're going to be fed? Because Bill Gates, he's into a whole lot of, stuff. He's been into the tech world. He's been into the vaccination world, and now he's into the agriculture world. Like I said, I told y'all that before, and now they're saying that $6 billion from these rich folks will be able to feed us. Like, come on, folks, they know before we know, but I can see things a little bit different than you guys because I'll be caught up with goofy stuff. I'll be focused on a lot of the reality, and I see things, I see words, and know what the words is going to transpire to. That's just me. So when I seen he moved to agriculture, which we all should know that this man now is thinking about, feeding us some stuff. And we already know he's been into the food industry with that fake real product. I don't know what you're going to be eating with the $6 billion investment into the world. A $6 billion investment to the world to feed the people. Like I said, you want to know how you're going to become zombified? They're going to vaccinate you and give you these food products that's going to make you become cannibals where you're going to turn and eat each other. But that's just me. Maybe I'm bugging to freak out. You know that. That ain't going to happen. That's just my creative mind. That's just my creative thoughts. You know what I'm saying? But no matter what, it's going to happen. So if it's going to happen, like I said, we need to have more control so we know what we're going to be eating. What we're going to be eating, okay, folks? It's very important. So the way I came up with this living care plan, and I hope that these folks can come up with something as half a brain as mine, because I took this to a lawyer, and the lawyer told me don't show no one. Then she told me to go to the church but to show this pastor. She said go show him, see if he can help you with it. I don't have much trust with the church system because the church system is a funny system. Or should I say the people within the church system is a funny system, is funny people. Or should I say the wrong people in the church system is funny people. Let's break it all the way down to that so we don't label it across the board for all the church folks who are truly into the spirit of God, truly into the spirit of man, truly into the spirit of love. You know what I'm saying? But for those who's truly in the spirit of the mighty dollar, I don't really care to mess with you. But then again, it's like a game of chess. We might have to move your pieces. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has a purpose, but it's not to, as Umar Johnson is playing the game, especially like a lot of churches, ripping people off, ripping the black community off, selling them dreams, and just building their own foundation. But with the living care plan, we're going to shift the gears. We're going to shift the monetary system a little bit because we're going to have control of how we're eating, what we're eating, who's growing it. We're going to go back to the 1800s, the 1800s. See, it's so all you folks that's on public assistance, it's time for you to get your lazy asses up out your houses, and it's time to work. So with $6 billion, I want to start a major farm system, and we're going to be on the plantation. We're going to be growing and harvesting our own products and our own cattle. That's the living care plan. $6 billion, yes, we'll be able to feed, especially with the system I have set up. You have no idea the importance of little people like myself to be heard. Like I was in a seminar, I was talking to the folks, Yo, when just think about all the little reports that you did in school. You know what I'm saying? All the teachers, the young teachers that was still trying to get their degrees in college. They was using ideas from you guys. They might have a see the beauty of life is that it's called seniority. They older than you. So in their lives, you know, they already know how the school system is. They teachers now, but they also in college. And they also know that they gotta do this paper. And so their college professor gives them a thesis, they give them a topic, you know what I'm saying? This is their topic. So they come back to school and they give the kids topics and they pick all the kids' brains and come up with a strong paper. It's called cheating, man. And I'm trying to tell you, it always come from the lower level. Like for example, me and this whole sector war crap, or this whole movement in this sector. And I'm not even talking to people who might not even know what I'm talking about when I speak about sector. So don't pay too much attention. But there's a lot of people who might be in higher positions and better positions in being a creator of content. But the low level people is the ones that they, you know, when I say low level, I'm speaking about myself. A low level person, a person who was sleeping in a cardboard box, they would focus on him and emulate him. And so that's why you gotta understand it always comes the top always emulate the bottom because the top don't really take the time out to do that work. So once you understand that, it's going to take us to be the voice of how we eat. We have to be the voice of how we eat. We must be the voice of how we work. Otherwise, it's definitely going to be a problem. So no matter what way you look at it, all those people who's on public assistance, it's time to get your lazy asses up and do some work before they have robots and robot dogs in control of you while you're doing that work. So it's either you do the work while you are free, or you're going to be doing the work one way or the other. And that's what the vision I see coming down the road. Can you just imagine plantation and you got millions of kids on the plantation that's working freely? Now, can you imagine a plantation of millions of black kids on that plantation, and you have robot dogs on that plantation and robots on that plantation? Because you guys got to understand, like when in New York City, we have like the Metro card, and we had the regular Metro card. Then when they switched to like Metro card Gold was prepaid, and you can put money on it, and you can prepay for certain things, and it's already paid for. So right now, they already have so much money already in place because so much stock, all the stocks that people be buying, all that prepaid money for millions and millions of people investing into a stock that's about to come out and be launched. And the stock is already took your money, invested into something that's about to be for your future that you're not even going to even be able to see your stock returns and enjoy the benefits because they already have something in place for you not to. All this technology stuff is very scary to me. And as long as they can get the low level to say, yo, you can make some nickels and dimes on your money and some dollars on your money. And hey, if you really be smart about it, you can really make some great money, invest in this and get this right here. What's the back? What is this stock going to do? What is all, if you got 35 million people investing in this stock, and this stock is to go to the outer space and put a satellite that has a laser that can actually just blow up the whole fucking planet. But y'all can make money on it. Y'all gonna make money on it, huh? Y'all just don't give a fuck, right? Now invest in one another right now because the time is coming. Why do you think all these people going to the moon? Because it's been prepaid from all the folks that want to get rich. So they train you to, hey, get rich, invest in us, but you don't invest in your own folks. You don't invest in your time and your resources and your own people. But you invest in these folks that you don't fucking know. And you don't know what their mind is and what they're going to do with your investment money before you can get a goddamn dime off it. time to wake up. And that's where we at right now. This is a lesson for us to understand that when the shit hit the fan, we paid for it. We paid our own money for our downfall. We're gonna pay our own money for our destruction. We're gonna pay our own money for our demolition. For we're gonna get demolished and annihilated. And that's what I'm saying. Is like I'm combining words. Understand? It's like for real. And we're gonna pay for it. Like for example, NASA. All you folks who want to get NASA shirts and NASA product and NASA. See, NASA, I'm in business, okay, and I'm in marketing. And one of the things, all I have to get is a little bit of information. It's more than enough to move. A little bit of gas in your car. If you stuck on the highway and you just get like you have a little 1 gallon container and you put that 1 gallon of gas in your car, you're gonna be thanking the Lord all the way off the highway. And that's what I'm saying. As long as you get a little bit of fuel, you can move. So the little bit of fuel I got about marketing is that what you have to do is promote to the folks something the people will buy. It's later than what y'all think, folks, man. I'm gonna go and start really paying attention. I was breaking down my last live I did, and it was a segment. If y'all can go to that last live I did, go from like the 20 like it was like about like 19, let's say about 19, maybe 20th minute, and go from the 20th minute at least to the 50th minute. That little 30-minute segment is very jewelful, and then a little break, you go a little bit down, maybe like an hour and 20 minutes into it. This is like another time. Like I say, there's a lot of nice little segments where it's like some real deep thoughts and that was in there, because like I say, a lot of times I just become like I'm just the words. I'm like the ventriloquist for words to come out so you can hear it, and also for me to hear. And if I can go back and listen to it, I can get the message. And there was a message in there, just like there's always a message in something I'm delivering. And the message right now is stop investing into those who you don't know what they're going to do with your money. So going back to NASA. So NASA, they've been advertising and promoting and trying to get investment dollars forever from the government to pay for their missions to go to space. Now, anyone who knows any religious book, they always know that everything goes to the stars, everything goes to space. Everybody knows that. Star Trek shows you just that everything deals with space. That's why they sent William Shatner up there, just up there. And so what I'm trying to tell you that NASA is on something way, way deeper and deeper than what you can imagine. Like I told people about CERN in Switzerland. This technology stuff is way above your imagination and your pay raise, and you have to understand what it's all about. They're trying to burst through the veil of the universe, and they want you to pay for it. So their funding got cut one way, and so they say, hey, let's get some Negro money. So we're going to market to the Negroes, and we know they like fashion. So we're going to market fashion to them. We're going to sell them some $50, $40 shirts and hoodies, and they're going to buy, and they're going to fund our efforts to go and blast through the universe, through the veil, the outer layer of. Remember how we was in school and you see the different layers of the universe and like what's around the planet? The little basic science, they trying to burst through it. And they've been having missions where they've been shooting beams through it, collecting dark matter and all this other stuff, and they've been getting through it. The only thing is, a lot of scientists said they've been hearing things on the other side. Some real demonic things they've been hearing. So we don't know what they're doing. We don't know what their overall purpose is. And there's no reason for us to be paying for those missions. Stop buying NASA products. Best way I can explain, go watch the Avengers with Yoki, the first one, I believe, when Yoki basically was touching everybody, turning their eyes black and shot that beam up into the sky. Like I say, folks, stay focused. So when you have billionaires saying they're going to invest, that saying when you have the UN saying that, hey, yo, y'all need to invest in this, and the billionaires can throw that. That's $6 billion will be nothing because he's worth 20 billion himself. So if they just got 6 billionaires to do a billion, that's that. But if they got $60 billion to work within that 6 billion, come on now. So that's an investment for the rich. And they most likely going to be investing to something behind the scenes that we don't know about. It's not a give back, it's an investment. Because if it was a give back, I don't need you to prove it to me. They say it, do it. They come in and really ask for something like that, do it. It's nothing. You make a phone call to 60 motherfuckers, be like, yo, what up? Could we do it? Can you give that 250 million? All right, no problem. Cool, thanks. That's four. Look, four from the East Coast. That's 1 billion. Four from the West Coast. 2 billion. Four from the North. 3 billion. Four from the South. And then you can just call somebody from overseas. Ain't a lot of people to give that 250 million. Investment on this control the world food to all the poor communities. What might be cute and nice, I'm always going to look is what's behind the scenes of it. Prove the behind the scene thought not to be the reality. PEC, don't believe the hype. Don't don't believe the hype. So we don't believe the hype. You have to prove that the hype is right. You got to prove the hype is right. Not the price is right, the hype is right. And that's what y'all need to continue doing is YouTube streets. But make sure that the hype is right. And that's where we at right now. I really want to talk about, this living care plan because the way I drew it, I mean, I was like, damn, why am I just writing the way I'm writing? I was just writing. It was just coming to me. It was crazy. And right now, I want to have a church hunger conference. I want to call a church hunger conference. I want to call a church hunger conference. Okay? That's the starting point. I need to gather from all 50 states. Okay, this is the Church Hunger Conference in the Church Hunger Organization. Okay, this is the Church Hunger Conference, but this is the Church Hunger Organization, international organization as well. Okay. And I need from the 50 states, I need at least 100 churches. We don't need the entire church, folks. When I say churches, okay, with a few members, representatives from the church, to gather at this conference, along with politicians from each. No. We really don't want the well, no, because the politicians are with the church, so they can be. No, I'm not separating that right now. I'm not separating that right now because it's church. So it's not. There's no other distinction. It's called the church. So if you have a politician in your church that actually is high ranking in your church and he's a representative, how can I say they can't come? So like I say, keep it simple. I don't like confrontation. because no matter what, this is what the rules will be for for what we're focusing on, and it's not about politics. It's about us controlling the politics. So bring your ears here and know what's going on, so you can bring it to your people. Say, this is what's going down. This is control. So with my youth program, we're going to start organizing the church hunger organization, and we're going to start organizing for the church, the church hunger conference. Because if they are talking about feeding and 6 billion, and they were getting ready for what's coming down the road, it's time for us to be organized. And that's what Project Pick Me Up is all about. Like I say, Project Pick Us Up. That's what it's all about. Understanding the economic, political, social, spiritual structure of our society and focusing on it, not just talking about it. When things pop up, we out there like sanitation workers. That snow drop, we dropping that salt. And that's what it's all about, folks. You need bright minds like I'm pat myself on the head. You need bright minds like myself and all the millions of others to really, really start focusing on what it is that our purposes are, because we came out the box. How many laid in the box last night? How many just laid on the floor? Like I say, sometimes you just got to get out your comfort zone. Too many people are in the comfort zone that they got to get out of for them to be able to live their purpose. And that's where we are. So with the Church Hunger Organization, we'll be organizing a national conference. It'll be great to see that take place sometime in Black History Month, but that probably won't be able to happen. Maybe we can start some little small conferences within each city. We can start that leading up to the big conference. And we need to that conference must take place no later than Mother's Day. May is a good time. So actually, I think I would love to do that conference April 4th, to be honest. April 4th is my day of, I'm thinking about my calendar, my personal calendar I made for the world. But April 4th is Unity Day, which is Martin Luther King's death day. So I think that would be a perfect day for the Church Hunger Conference, April 4th. So what's the math on that? 100 churches times at least, what, 48 states, 50 states? You know what I'm saying? We talk about conference. We talk about something real. We talk about really something real. I'm talking about organize something that is of a magnitude that these rich people know that we ain't playing, motherfuckers. See, the only way the rich people can respect the poor people is when the poor people's in numbers. The only way the rich people can respect the poor people is when the poor people's in numbers. Because rich know dollars and they know numbers. Politicians know dollars and they know numbers. And I don't care what Umar Johnson want to talk about. Of I don't care anything about him really trying to talk Pan-African, anything. Because if we are not moving in power, meaning that we are really in a certain type of numbers, we'll be crushed. So don't really believe how he always talk about Pan-Africanness, and then he hides behind certain things. He would hide behind that law. He would call the cops in the heartbeat. Because he don't have elite group of Pan-African soldiers. He was talking about building. He's probably trying to build it now, but it ain't gonna have no effect on what $1 billion can do. What $1 billion can do with guns and ammunition and put in the right hands of the right person to work underneath you, your army would be nothing. And like I say, it's all about power and the power of numbers. And these politicians must respect your numbers. you must deal with them on some level. You must. It's like that's just like the rule of government. And that's what we live in a government, a body. And where we are right now, we are at a level where if we do not take heed to what they're talking about, every time they talk about Bill Gates and the Elon Musk and what's his name, Bezos, whatever his name is, all these Amazon cat, all these folks, is we don't pay attention to what their moves are. Their moves are the control of us. Always remember that. The Church Hunger Organization. Let me put that out there. I'm just talking. The Church Hunger Organization. I don't care what organizations is out there and all the other stuff. I'm happy for everybody. It's about bringing all that to one fold to combat them. Because, like I say, this man, he's not dumb and old. He's living life. He knows he got 30 more, 40 more, 50 more years on the planet if he wants to do it right, if he can live right and not crash and some dumb shit like that. In this world, as long as you don't really have no real dumb shit, and most of the dumb shit that we really do is putting stuff in our mouths to go into our body and go in our organs to destroy us. So if we're not doing that and we truly, truly living right and we are stress free and we have the things that we need to make our lives that much easier, where we don't have to make that many steps and blow our knees out at such an old age and blow our joints out because we just have everything we need to really live life, you live longer. When you're happy, you live longer. And so he's not thinking about him dying, he's thinking about him living. And so he's making plans for him to live in the world that he wants to build around him. And that's how all these rich folks are. In the same way, if you listen to Umar, how he says he ain't gonna have this all the coons, and it's no different than these white folks. And so once we understand that, now it's time for us to get rid of all the goofies and all the dumbs and all the retards. And it's either they're gonna have to get with the right or be part of the wrong and be exterminated because the wrong is no longer needed for this way of survival. And that's where it's at. I'm gonna switch it up because we're gonna talk about Bill Gates and farming. So I'm gonna talk about farming. And there's a greenery, it's called cannabis. And so like when you're growing cannabis, you have a male seed and you have a female seed. Now, if you mix the male seed with the female seed, you're gonna have a big old tree with nothing but seeds. But if you have a tree of nothing but female seeds, you have a tree of buds. So, like I say, you gotta separate the two. So don't get mad when a person say a lot of people will have to be exterminated. You probably get mad because you feel some type of way because you know should be you. Who wants to be exterminated? Otherwise, they've exterminated themselves already. So now when it's called out that you should be exterminated, you know you should be exterminated. Now you're like, oh, this person's wrong because I should be exterminated, but they shouldn't say that. That's not nice. No. When you're growing cannabis, you gotta take the male seeds and you gotta separate them. And when you separate them, do you reuse the male seeds? No, you gotta throw them away. Once you're able to identify all the male seeds from the female, you gotta throw them away. So once you can identify all the, out of all the, then you got to throw it away. And that's where we at right now. And these folks know that. And they ready to throw away a lot of folks for the world they trying to build around them. Play games if you want. So Don got the talking about the living care plan. And this is something I designed about 5 years ago. And you got Elon Musk talking about, and well, not really Elon Musk, but you got the United Nations talk about if we can get $6 billion from these wealthy billionaires, we'll be able to feed the nation of hungry people. And I'm saying, well, your boy Donald Trump already said that he wanted to cut $6 billion from the SNAP program, the federal government food distribution program. And he wanted to do that with do something else with it. I'm like, yo, back then, I'm like, yo, no, give it to us. Give it to the church hunger organization. Give us that. And you can and you can pretty much like cut that whole EBT in damn near half. You give us that $6 billion budget that you have for SNAP, and then now the rest of that SNAP money you can cut in half. I don't think y'all really understand. Like George Bush gave more money than a lot of people know to that program. But it really hurt a lot of folks. It helped a lot of people, but it hurt people because it hurt you with your health. A lot of people got sick because they wasn't eating right. I had a bird I caught, and I took the bird and I put it in a cage, and I gave the bird a whole bunch of bird seeds, and the bird killed itself because it just had all this free food. But killed himself, choked it on the damn seed. And that's us. We'll kill ourselves eating. So that's why it's important for the church hunger organization to organize how we really eat in our communities. And honestly, I came up with this idea like years ago. I just put it on paper, like when he came about. But I was selling ice in front of one of my churches, and one of my church they sell downstairs the church they sell food. And honestly, when the church have service on Sunday, that day they make crazy bread. You know what I'm saying, with the food, because if you had like a diner around there or something like that, you're not really eating because that church gonna eat and the food is good. Understand what I'm saying? And like one of the persons who make fish in my neighborhood, and he had one of the good fish spots. Then he had like a heart attack, and then he really wasn't able to maintain his business. But everybody his fish was crazy, and so he got picked up and saved. The church actually brought him in. He became like the head chef of the kitchen. So he didn't have to worry about nothing anymore. He, like I say, he had a heart attack. So, but he brought his fish there, and so that's how they do. The great cooks they have at their spot, so it's not a game. And so I came up with this whole living care plan back then, years ago. Like, yo, we need to really open up these doors of the churches heavy. And so a lot of churches, they do that for cooking. But like I say, my plan is way deeper. They need money. They need money. We don't need all these damn ox stores popping up. Yo, I don't give a freak what it sound like. But when I travel, I see nothing but Arab stores all over the place. People from Yemen and all those places all over the place. And you know who's reaping the benefits of that SNAP money? They are. All that EBT money be going there to those corner stores nonstop. That's why so many of those stores are popping up all over the place. It's not that they're good in business. It's just that they got a hustle where they're getting free money real fast, crazy fast. And they also put their money together to get that little spot. So all that SNAP money is going to those stores, and and like I asked dude, like, yo, so what's like the number one thing? He said cigarettes and beer, and then soda. I was like, what's the top five? He's like chips. Like, yo, it was all garbage. But everybody pulling out their card and paying for it. Kids going in the store with their mom's card, going in the store, the shopping spree up in there. Pulling out a card, like, damn. Because I'm like, yo, I got all this money. I seen all this damn stuff going on the counter. And then they're pulling at their mom's card, putting the shit up in there. They probably even got a card. And once you hear what I'm saying, that's real estate. All those little stores, all those stores that just pop up, one store across from another in your neighborhood is buying up your real estate off of the SNAP program. That free money, that free food is buying up all this real estate in your community when that money can go directly to places in the establishment that already have real estate. I don't have no time to be taking time out my thoughts to be entertaining some goofy shit. Like, I really was looking at my live yesterday. I was really I was mad about the sound because when I was doing it, it sounded really good, but the sound wasn't right. So I apologize for my sound. But then I'm looking up like, you know what? I really, really, really wasn't going in that direction when I made my live stream at all. But I entertained the dumb shit just because the dumb shit is there cluttering me. Gotta stop doing that. No time for that. And that's where we are. We don't have time for this goofball stuff no more when we have real situations taking place. When COVID's going to be done and clear, it's going to be a lot of damage, especially if a lot of folks are not prepared. Who lost a business during COVID? Who's going to start a business soon? And do you really think you're going to really make some money in the next 2 years? And that's where we at right now. It's like a 2 to 3 year plan that we got to be focused on. When I was in my box, I had my plans just constantly coming to me and thinking. So that's why when I got out my box, I already knew what I had to do. That's when I finally got comfortable. I just took off. But in between, I still was moving because I already knew it was time. Once I got out the box, I was moving. Take what I'm talking about very serious. The UN went to the rich folks and said, yo, throw us, invest some money in this project. And we need to know what that money in that project and program will be called. And then we need to know who's behind that project and program where that $6 billion will be allocated. You have to know who's the masterminds behind that project. That's why with the church, with the church hunger organization, hopefully we find the right spiritual people to really hold us down and bless our food. Is anyone who would like to come and chop it up and, give their viewpoints or anything? It's always open for you. I want to have a little conversation because I did a 4-hour live last night. No, I did a 5-hour live last night, huh? How about that? And I'm actually watching it right now. I'm really am watching it. So when I get off here, I'm going to go back and completely watching it. I'm only like 2 hours. I'm like an hour and 45 minutes in. Wow, it's amazing. Just looking right out this window at this squirrel eat. It looked like he's looking at me. You see me? You gotta see me. Your eyes gotta be better than all. Oh, he's wasteful too. See, when you have free food, you can just waste stuff. He picked it off the tree. He took about like 5, 6 bites and just dropped it. See, that's what happened when you have free food. Just like the animals, you just go rip it off and you just eat a little bit and then waste it. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what animals do because they got free food all day, every day. They can waste it. We cannot be wasting food like animals. If your garbage can has it's smelly because you have a lot of food that was wasting there, it's time to change how you're cooking and the amount of food that go on your children and your plates. One great thing about different cultures, they do not allow you to put more on your plate than you can eat. I believe that's like the Japanese culture. everybody be like, yo, why they just give a little bit of food? Shit, if you gotta make sure you eat that first. You know what time and energy they put in to give you that taste? They ain't wasting the food. A lot of your folks be wasting a lot of food because a lot of the people can't cook. Because you're always chasing something else and you ain't really doing the right things of life. Time to get back to the right things of life, and that's health, and that's eating right, and putting food right in your body, learning how to cook. So if you have daughters, start getting them in the kitchen. Learn how to cook. So we stop wasting food because it tastes nasty. Buy things that's going to taste good, not because it's sugary, but because it's going to taste good, and know how to cook it. Stop wasting it. Trust me when I'm telling you this. Because this is not no time for us to be wasting food, because there's not a lot that's really around, folks. Don't get nothing twisted. They destroying crops as you know it. They preparing for something. We're going to start hearing words of shortages real soon. And once you start hearing the word shortage, that's when the cavalry comes in. With their 7.5 billion. They was asked for 6, but they gave 7.5 billion. Make you feel good. Like, damn, that's what's up. Here come the cavalry. Buy their stocks. Get their cars. But I kid you not, like I said, honestly, I really, really, really would like to get in a conference with Elon Musk, because out of all the cats, I kind of think he's okay, but you know, saying I don't know. Okay, don't mean he's great, but I just say okay. Might not be 100%. Might be like this at 25, but I think it's something about him that, with some tough love, he'll do right. And that's why I'm saying we gotta get at the we gotta get at the poker table. Bill us in, count us in. Well, that's just my views on that. What's your views on it? What's your take? What's your take on what I was talking about in regards to the Living Care Plan and the Church Hunger Organization, the Church Hunger Conference? We need 100 churches from each state to send a representative or two to the conference. It's definitely important for us to focus on farmland. We don't need to be focused on anything else except for farmland. We need to start focusing on getting seeds and crops, livestock. We got to invest in, we got to get back to the whole agriculture part of life. And all you folks out there who have an EBT card, who relies on SNAP or whatever food distribution program that you have in your city and state, it's important for you to now start preparing your mind to find that plantation that we're going to be working on. Because folks, we need as many farmers as possible. We need as many plantation workers as possible. Flip the word plantation, know that this is saving the nation. Because once again, for those who might not heard, can you just imagine you on a plantation, you seen the plantation of kids and they all there prospering off the farmland and growing their stuff and enjoying the life. And then you go down the road, you see another farmland where these kids are on the farmland with robots and robot dogs. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what's coming down the road. Those robots and robot dogs with your children on farmlands. Like slavery all over again. So you better get in right now before it's over. We got to get land. We got to get to come together. And we got to do our resources. And we got to get power ASAP before the rich people start playing the game of Monopoly. And like I said, if you are a person who's basically a male seed, and we try and grow this cannabis plant, we can't use you. We have to get rid of your male seeds. So for all those no good weeds that's in this garden, we're gonna have to get you out the garden. Okay. If there's anybody who'd like to chop it up, if not, I'm about to shut it down because this topic just came while I was cleaning. Like I said, I stopped cleaning because this came about and I seen this and so I chose to go live on it because we have to keep this as a focus. Let's talk about this. Chop it up. Holla. Once again, anybody out there who can see a true reason why they should really support me and my channel, we talk about real topics, real news, please hit the $, what is it? IC Don 167. And why what that gonna go towards? Oh man, where is that? I put all my stuff in my bag. It's crazy. It's gonna go towards these flyers I need. Someone hit me up on the email and they said, hey Don, you know what I'm saying? Whatever promotion that you need, banners and things like that, I can help you get. And I'm like, okay, I hit them back like 2 times an email. I ain't hear nothing. So I gotta come to you folks. I need some I need more flyers. See, I'm doing it like this. I made them up and I'm just running them copies. And so I need more flyers. It's so good when I'm on my phone. I love my phone ringing. The young people calling up now. They definitely hit me up in regards to the youth program. I got a lot of emails coming in. Today I just had a couple of calls and the kids are already doing the job because I already spoke to them. I told them, you know, what they need to do prior to the webinar I'm gonna be hosting. And already got people calling in and say, hey, yeah, Melanie gave me this number. Hey, yeah, this Paul gave me. I'm like, yo, that's what's up. So I already know they're gonna really be on top of their job. So we need your support. I'm putting together my new product because my young people that's coming to the program, one of the things they will be doing is selling product. So I'm definitely going to be needing cases and cases of buttons. Okay, I need buttons, and I'm also going to be needing my next product. Do I have one of them here? Let me see if I have one of my. Damn, I don't think I have. I think it's a Queens. Yeah, I want to show you one of my products. I need a little help and support for. See, you know what I'm saying? Me doing things on my own, I would do it, but it's always going to be a little slower pace. But with a little help and support, things move faster. You know what I'm saying? Way faster. I'm going to show you something. I made up some flyers. I was going to do a back to school event for the kids this year. And I just made up some paper flyers because where I was working at and stuff like that. And so I made up some paper flyers. And just this little stack of paper cost me $20. Of paper, black and white, black and white. This stack of paper, this right here. And I ain't even pass them out. $20. I didn't pass them out because I chose not to do that event because when I looked at the weather, it was going to rain. And the place itself that I was going to do it at, they was acting too funny. Although they was willing to do it, but they was acting too funny. So I was like, I don't even feel like dealing with it. So when you see things that's not, or when you see a dark cloud already there, you gotta learn when not to, keep going on if you're gonna get rained on. So I didn't do it, and I said, well, it was just $20. At least I ain't put no flyers out. So I ain't pass out no flyers. So that was a good thing. But that was $20 of flyers right here. That was $20, yo. That was just wasted. So little flyers like this is not stuff I want to be buying, So if you are a person who have access to a copy machine, like at your job and stuff like that, you could run off some flyers and stuff like that. That's what's up. Please, I need that help as well. Well, everything counts. But so right now we gotta make up these cards. These are called my recruiter cards. So I need my recruiter cards, and I gotta pass them out here in Philly as well as New York. Right now, I open up New York, so I'm focused on that. I'm gonna give that a little bit of time, and then I'm gonna jump out here in Philly. So right now I'm out here. I really want to make up some copies. I already opened up Queens, so I really want to open up Philly by like the end of this week, maybe before I leave, go back out to the city. I want to start passing some out here. Right now, I just got to really do some little things around and doing more preparation. But once that seminar, once I do that webinar, once I launch the webinar, I'm going to need product. And so, like my design, the design right now he's putting together right now. He's designing the product, and like I said, I got my buttons and my other products I'm about to launch. Honestly, it's calendars. So, what you're helping support with the calendars and my buttons, that's going to move me to the next season. That's going to be the products that they're going to be moving from now to a certain time, Black History Month. And so, trust me, that's going to be huge, huge. When I sell my calendars, I do very well, especially my calendars. I love my calendars. So, ladies and gentlemen, your help is really much needed. We're gonna do what we can do, no matter what. You see the website. Who check my website out? You know what I'm saying? That's my website. I'm about to start my webinars, and now I just gotta get all the product that's needed to kick off the first stage of the project. And so the first stage of the project is the fundraiser. And our fundraiser consists of actual goods that people really would like to support and probably want and need. And it's not about us asking for just a handout. If they want to give anything on top of that they already purchased, then that's a thank you so much. But we're going to give them something that's worth their dollar, especially with the energy and spirit behind what we're giving them. It's nothing but love. So that's where we at right there, you know? So, all right, I don't know, we here, okay. So yeah, so where we at right now, if there's anybody who would like to come in and talk a little bit about what I was talking about, if you just coming on deck, I was talking about the liver care plan that I've designed. I designed the liver care plan that's worth, I don't know if you can see, like $6 billion. We talking, you know what I'm saying? I know you can't see. I just want you to know that I'm not talking garbage, not nonsense. And I wrote this about like 5 years ago, and the thought was about like 7 years ago, 7 years ago, because I've seen and know that, you know, so many people is hungry, but they really can't get what they need, especially when they go to these church pantries and stuff like that. You go to, it's funny, I don't even go to that, but you go to, you be seeing, you look at those people in the church pantries and they be on those lines forever and be like, damn, what the hell's going on? And then, you know, some churches, I guess they be giving out some good stuff. But then when you really look at all this stuff, like a true homeless person couldn't do nothing with half the stuff they gave you. And so that's what made me come up with this whole idea and concept in regards to the living care plan. I was like, damn, it's a whole lot of stuff that they wasting, thinking they helping and giving, but no, it's a lot of stuff they wasting. So it's about really maximizing on every single dollar that's really given towards the cause. And I put that together. And like we talked about the church hunger organization, because when the UN is saying, hey, rich people, we need just $6 billion. What is $6 billion? Because they said that $6 billion will be able to feed 42 million people. I ain't gonna lie, I did some math as well. But like I said, I did math in my budget, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's probably coming to roughly $5.25. You know, that's coming to not that much money a day per person on the breakdown. Okay. Like I say, I really did a lot of math on a whole breakdown with what it's worth, what they really giving you when they give you your EBT cards. You know what I'm saying? What is it really worth on the value of a day? It'd just be like $4 or $5 a day. Maybe a little bit more, but not really. Understand what I'm saying to you folks? And so when you talk about 6 billion for 42 million people, I mean, what is that on the math? What is that on the math? Like, what is it per day? How much is it per person? Like, nah. So what we really need, what's $6 billion from these rich folks? We need $60 billion. And $60 billion from rich folks really is not that much when it comes to a project like this. What is it, 60 people doing 100 million? No. Well, 600 people doing 100 million? Like, which one is it? 60 or 100? I mean, which one is it? Like, it's not that many. It's not that much money, although it's a lot of money for us, but it's not that much money if you talk to billionaires and multi millionaires. But you know what I'm saying? It's not that much money. But when you think about what they're going to do, it's about what type of power these folks going to have over you and your way you eating. And that's what I'm saying. That's where we have to really be focused. Stop with free handouts and control what we're going to be having in our communities to eat. You always got to look at the bigger picture, what's going on. It's nothing small scale of just, hey, this is for you guys. Be happy. This is always a bigger scale. There's always another company behind it that's about to make maximum profits. It's always something behind it. If there's not nobody who would like to talk, I'm going to probably just pretty much leave. Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. Eddie, yeah. Ask yourself who paid for all these vaccines. That's what I'm saying. Nothing's free. There's a company behind it. There's always someone behind the scenes that's going to make maximum profits off it. And what structure they building? For example, Bill Gates. Bill Gates was behind a lot of the vaccines. And so then he moved to agriculture. So he made a lot of money off the vaccines. Then he immediately moved to, the food and agriculture and buying up of farmland. And so behind the scenes, now they say, hey, we just need about like $6 billion. We can really just fund this project. You know what I'm saying? He's like, get me $6 billion from these rich folks, UN, and I can 42 million people, I can take off this fucking planet. Did that sound crazy right there? Yeah, but for real. Hey, UN, get me $6 billion from these rich folks, and I can erase 42 million people off the planet through their food. I mean, that's just my thoughts. But or maybe it was the other side. Maybe it's the good side. I can feed 42 million people, and they can be healthy individuals. After we done gave them all this vaccination and poisoning system. But maybe he's really a good guy. Maybe he's really saying, hey, I'm going to vaccinate and save the people, and then I'm going to make sure that they're eating right and good. Maybe he got converted and maybe he's changed. Maybe I'm thinking wrong of him. I don't know. But I don't think so. Because when I was watching him and they were talking about, wasn't you with that dude? Somebody help me out with the name of the dude. Jeffrey Epstein. When when they was questioning about the Epstein thing, they was like, "Was you rolling with him? You don't know how he was rolling? You come on, man!" And he was just like, "Nigga, you was part of that shit." So the whole thing, folks, is like we really gotta know who's behind the scenes on the operation. Who's going to receive that $6 billion to start allocating that food out to? Once again, when the UN received this money, when the international organization received that money, the $6 billion, what organization they're going to send it through? They're going to funnel that money through. What organizations they're going to funnel that money through? And who are these organizations and what's their sole purpose? And that's the homework we got to stay on. So, like, if you're a fraud warrior, you got to really be on shit like that on our next level right now. Because that's where we need your expertise. That's where we need your skills. That's what we want to hear. Whether this dude put an HVAC on top of that roof does not matter at this point. The only thing that matters is when and how he gonna pay me and what he gonna pay me with. So y'all need to shift and focus your attention on what's really about to affect us heavy as an avalanche in this world. And that's these vaccinations, and that's all this agriculture that's being bought up, and what they about to do with these funds that they about to put out there for people to eat. And the gas price. Yo, what's up with this gas price, yo? Why is it so high? We're not even at war. Why is it so high when we wasn't even, this is why I'm so pissed off. I hate when I'm cluttered. with so much dumb stuff that I can't really be on the real stuff, yo. Why is gas price so high when people wasn't traveling like that last year? The refinery should be a little bit, they should have like at least from the years before, they should have at least like 10 to 20% more oil inside them starting the next year. Why is it that the price of oil, and when the airplanes was not flying, how in the world is the price of gas up? The price of gas is supposed to be down because they need people to go out there and be buying, supply and demand. But when they raise the price, that means they are up to something way different. They know, yeah, y'all outside, y'all gonna go buy because they know it's a buying market. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. When you get organized, you can control the price and the rates and how it fluctuates. That's the supply and demand curve. But they get everybody to be out there. Hey, we do promotions. We outside. We outside. We outside. So you guys just get outside and just be going crazy all over the place and just think that it's okay. Just like fuck it. I'm not gonna. When I go get gas, I don't even look at the tank. I don't look at what's going in there. I just turn my head. That's what people. No, folks. It's time for rebellion. Black man rise, original rebel. It's time for 100% rebellion right now. Thank you. I almost retired it, but this is the real talk that I do. You know what I'm saying? I like to be on some real shit because all the other wasteful conversation is no good right now. This man, they say $6 billion will feed 42 million folks. Let me go to. I'm gonna turn my laptop on. Don't mind my bed. Like I said, I was cleaning something out. I don't have no dresser where I'm at, so I got all my stuff in the bin. I had to clean the bin out, and so I'm taking everything out. Let me find the Let me find this freaking article because this really, really, really is like, wow. And I already came up with it. It's called the Living Care Plan, but they're not going to do it the way it has to be done. The way they got to allocate this food. And he said, yo, if the UN, Musk said, if the UN can, prove that this theory is real, mean to show me the numbers. Then he's willing to sell his Tesla stock. Shit, that's probably worth $6 billion itself. He's sitting there like, well, shit, I'll do the $6 billion. That's all you need? I'll do it. And so then the other people see that, then they be like, what's this all about? I got $6 billion. I got $6 billion. Now all of a sudden it's like fucking 100 people throwing $6 billion. Now it's 600 billion. And who's behind the scenes receiving that? Guess who? The same people who gave it. The same way you guys be underneath different accounts, they receive it. Bing. Because this is what they formed. They already formed it. And so now they're going to give to the same thing they formed and have complete control over it. Real simple. And because it's way above your pay raise, you know what I'm saying, you won't know. And because they control the media and all the social media, you won't know. You don't have to know. And if you're not really paying attention to it, and as it passes across the social media, when it's all happening, all you're going to say is, wow, this is beautiful. You're going to praise it. And then people who's talking about it, you're going to say, they conspiracy theorists, yo, they're crazy. Always trying to bring down some goodness. Then wonder why cancer is up. And then here comes some vaccines. Here come medication. The dope man's always on top. Exactly, because the UN is an international organization of all the rich folks already. You know what I'm saying? All the rich folks got them in their pockets. So, like I say, it's all about dirty business that we would never ever be able to touch as small individuals, but as a unit of folks, we can. And that's why it'd be important for us to host this the Church Hunger Conference in New York City at the UN, in front of the UN, and take over the whole city block. Like I say, folks, it's revolution time. It's revolution time. I want 1 million people at the UN at this conference. I want 2 million, whatever number that Martin Luther King had over there, Washington, D.C. in the 60s, I want 10 times that at this UN, letting them know that this is what we demand, motherfucker. Otherwise, we go on strike. We no longer consumers. That will hurt them, period. And they know that. We will no longer be consumers. And that's our pledge. I will no longer be your consumers. I took that pledge long years ago, folks. That's why I sound prehistoric. Because I had my eyes open wide shut long time ago, yo. Like long time ago. I just had my eyes open so long ago. Like, no, I would not be a consumer. The this modern day slavery is consumerism. That's the modern day slave. You're a slave to buying. You're a slave to buying, buying, buying. And that's why they said Black Friday is going to be what every Friday this month. How many of y'all like, woohoo? And that's why and how they can be on top. Once again, if there's at least one person who would like to come and have a little conversation with me before I shut this down. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to talk about something a little later on. I got to talk about something a little later on. Am I doing it live later? I think I am. I think I am. I think I'm doing a live. I think I want to talk to the ladies. So if there's, I think the next live I'll be doing, the live will be, I was also supposed to be pulling up the ad. The next live I would be doing would be on where are the ladies who have issues with Umar? I'm looking for all the Umar Johnson women who has issues with him. If you are a person who have issues, if you're a female and you have issues with the FDMG and Umar Johnson, I am looking forward to hear from you. This panel is definitely for you and myself, and see what way that we can, have a good conversation and see where we can bring it. Because, like I say, I have an issue with him too. So, like the dude Drake say, you a lesbian, me too, or you got issue with Umar, me too. Okay, and it's time for us to really see where we can go with this and take it, because it's now time. I'm pretty sure you do have issue with him. I ain't gonna lie. I heard him talk. I know how he feels. But the only way you're gonna win that issue is in numbers. So let's build those numbers and let's have that conversation. And like I say, he owes us apology. He owes many people an apology for how he really be coming about. So if there's no one that would like to talk to me, I'll say that's very sad. I don't know why nobody want to talk to me. If there's anyone who would like to support the cause, I need to start making my calendars, and I need at least 5,000 of them. I already got like 15 young people that want to enroll in the program, so I need 5,000 of them. Oh, if there's nobody who would like to say anything, I'm going to say thank you for your listening ear. Thank you for your support as always. Gotta get a haircut. Bye bye.